Hello everyone, welcome and thanks for joining our educational presentation. Now today I'd like to talk to you about a simple tool that I strongly believe will change the way you trade. Now for example, this happened just this past week. Yahoo Finance reported that Apple becomes the world's first trillion-dollar company. Now on August 2nd, which was last week, Apple Chief Executive Tim Cook has a trillion reasons to smile. This is what reported in Yahoo Finance. Exactly 9 months ago, on November 3rd, 2017, Apple became the first $900 billion company. But the tech titan on Thursday became the first company in the world to reach a $1 trillion valuation. So no small feat in today's markets. And if we look at the chart, the current chart of Apple here, we see that this is when the news came out. Now here is the beauty about the tool I want to be revealing today, because it really can change the way you trade. Because most traders would look at this news and say, boy, that's a great investment, a trillion-dollar company. It's not going to lose money right now, right? I've got to get into it. But once you learn how to listen to the market and use this tool, you would have seen that off a basic pattern, the tool would have generated a buy signal back here, and potentially you could have captured up to 22 points 1 month prior to the news event. So this, as you can see, this tool and the way it generates high probability setups will really change the way you trade. And it can all be done, and it can only be done on our new PTS Primo charting platform. I developed this with Proprietary strategies, and it is the educational portal that teaches you how to listen to the market. So this is going to be a great presentation. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Steven Primo, President and Founder of Specialist Trading. I teamed up with Proprietary Strategies to do one thing, to educate you as a trader. That's our sole purpose. With the two companies combined, we simply want to educate you. The reason is because we feel that's what's lacking in most traders' trading plan. You see, most traders fail. Upwards of 85% of all traders fail. And we believe it's because they haven't been supplied with proper education. Sure, you've probably gone to a bunch of webinars, spent $10,000 on courses, and you've been educated with things, but they're not providing you the consistency you're looking for. These are the same things I was educated some 41 years ago when I first started trading. They didn't work then, and they're not about to work now. So I've been trading for over 4 decades now. I started my career on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange. I was a specialist on the floor. A specialist just means that you're not any more special than anyone else. It just means that you made markets or specialized in making markets in about 50 or 60 stocks. So I did that for a good 9 years on the floor. I was a specialist and made markets during the crash of '87 and the bull market that followed. So I've traded just about every system, every technique. I've been involved in every market environment you think of. So in my 41 years of experience, I know what works in terms of consistency, and I know what doesn't work. So I can help you by shortening your learning curve and by saving you money, where you don't have to spend all this time and energy wasting your time and effort on needless classes and needless tools, and you can get right to what is hopefully will educate you and make you a consistent trader. So this is what we do with Specialist Trading and Proprietary Strategies, and you'll see in just a few minutes how simple it is to educate you once you have the proper teaching and the proper tools. But before we begin, we are first required by law to show you this, so please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you a lot of performance results using this new tool, but please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. And also please remember that all examples I'm about to share with you are strictly for educational purposes only. So as you're taking a brief moment to view our disclaimer, I would also like to take this time to invite each and every one of you to follow us on Twitter. I would suggest copying down our handle there, and you can start looking at different things we've posted today and we'll post later on. I post anywhere from different signals our strategies have generated, little bits of wisdom along the way, financial wisdom. So lots of great free information. Feel free to follow us on Twitter. Now, as I stated earlier in the beginning statements, we're a little bit different from other webinars you may have attended in the fact that our only goal is simply to educate you. As you can see here, my goal is not to force feed you signals. My goal is not to tell you what the perfect market is or the perfect time frame the way so many other webinars are. My goal is not to tell you about some $20,000 class or indicator we have that will make you rich. We don't believe in that. My goal is simply to teach you how to trade with the specialist edge. All right, this is the same edge that was taught to me some 4 decades ago. Hopefully, it will be able to turn your trading around and give you consistency in your trading as well. Now, since this is going to be conducted like a classroom, an educational class, I ask that you please wait till the end to ask any questions. That way we won't be here for an extremely long time. I won't have to take all of your Wednesday afternoon. So if you have a question, please wait till the end of class to ask. I promise I'll get to each and every one of them. The only question I will answer is the most popular, and that is this being recorded? Yes, it is. We will furnish everyone with a link to this recording at the very end of the presentation, okay? So kindly wait. If you joined us later on today, we have a good crowd here. If you happen to just join us, kindly wait till the end of class to ask a question. All right, so let's begin. Let's start talking about this tool. But I want to share with you what my mentors first said to me. When I was first starting to trade on the floor, I had a couple of mentors on the floor who were stock exchange specialists and who had been trading for upwards of 40 to 50 years each. And I remember this is what they said to me. They said, Steve, the market is always telling you what it wants to do in advance. You see, they didn't say, Steve, this institutional recording we have of what all the institutions are doing always tell you what the market wants to do. They didn't say volume is always telling you what the market wants to do. And they didn't say support and resistance is always telling you what it wants to do. They said the chart in front of me, what I'm looking at on a daily basis, is always telling me what it wants to do in advance. See, the only trouble is we've never been taught to listen to the market. We're always taught to listen to some guy on a webinar. We're always taught to listen to some guy on TV. We're always taught to listen to some master class or what the institutions are doing. And these are all outside sources that really have no levels of consistency in what they're saying. But the market is always telling us what it wants to do. So why not just focus on that? Why not give all our attention to the source? This is the chart we're looking at, all right? The trouble is we're never taught how to do that. I remember when I was first taught this concept, I couldn't really grasp it at first because I'd never been taught to listen to the market. So what we need is a tool that translates what the market wants to do. Because oftentimes it's difficult to figure out what the market wants to do. So what if there were a tool that could do that? That was not a predictor. That was not an indicator that told you how high or how low something went, told you how overbought or how oversold something was. All it did was translate on a tick-by-tick basis what the market wanted to do at that moment. And there is. This is what my mentors taught me and shared with me over 4 decades ago. That tool is the PET-D. You've heard me speak about it numerous times because it's probably our most powerful tool we have at Specialist Trading and Pro Trader Strategies. All right? Now look at this chart. I've shown this chart before. We all see the way markets can go up and then change and go straight down. On our platform, we make it simple to find out what the market wants to do. Because all you have to do is click on the PET-D tab and the colors automatically change. All right? You can see here, when you have a series of green bars, the PET-D is telling you that it wants to go higher. And then when it changes into a series of red bars, the PET-D is telling you it wants to go lower. So a common way to apply this is trade any strategy, any method, any system in sync with the direction what the market is telling you it wants to do. That's a very common and very valid way in which to trade it, very consistent. The trouble is most traders say, well, Steve, why not when the minute I get the first green bar, I just buy. And the minute the first red bar appears, I sell and go short. Sure, you could do that too, but that's not the proper way to use this because it's not an entry and exit tool based on those conditions, okay? And sometimes you'll go into whipsaw market, so it's not really the most consistent way to use it. But guess what? The PET-D will also generate hidden patterns for high probability setups. These are setups either to go long or to go short. Through my use of it in the last 4 decades and from what other traders and other students have relayed back to me, there are some patterns that are generated consistently that are high probability setups, either for going long or short. Now, these are not strategies. These are not systems. In other words, they don't come complete with entry rules, exit rules, stop placements, but they're red flags or warning signals telling you there is a high probability point of entry right here, or a high probability point of selling right here to go short. It's up to you how you want to apply that. Now, here's what we've done. We've created a scanner. This is our PET-D master scanner, which automatically scans for these hidden patterns. Now, you can find these through the class in your online course. You will be able to see them on your own. But remember, there are 500 stocks in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100. How about the currency pairs? How about the futures? There are just so many stocks to go through on a chart-by-chart basis to try and find these hidden patterns. That's why Proprietary Strategies and myself created our new ATTENDEE Master Scanner. It automatically scans for these, and guess what? It does it in a matter of seconds. So here's what you get with the ATTENDEE Master Scanner. This identifies 10 individual setup patterns, and we're always looking for more. We run through them rigorously to find out that they have high levels of consistency or not. And so far, we've identified 10 that have shown very high levels of consistency. Now, the beauty of these is that these patterns locate setups in all markets. So it doesn't matter if you're a stock trader, it doesn't matter if you intraday trade stocks or intraday trade the futures or trade Bitcoin or trade commodities or currency pairs. You'll find these setups virtually in all markets. You'll also locate these setups in all time frames. So if you like to intraday trade, or if you're an investor and you like to look at weekly and even monthly bars, you'll find them in all time frames. And then lastly, the scanner can locate these setups in all directions. So it's not just for high probability buying setups. There are also high probability selling setups as well. And you can use them any way you'd like. You can use them to add to your current position. You can use them as stop placements. If, say, you're long and then you happen to see one of these high probability sell setups, well, you can place your stop there. So a number of ways in which to apply them. Remember, you're in charge of your trading, not us. We're simply giving you the tools and the education you need to be a consistent trader. And this all just takes a matter of seconds to scan all the markets. It's so quick and so easy on our new ATTENDEE Master Scanner. And you can only do this on our PTS Primo charting platform. That's the only way you'll be able to scan this on our new platform. So let's share with you just one of these patterns, okay? I can't give you all the patterns. It wouldn't be fair. I know we have a total of 10. I'm going to just share with you today one of our favorite patterns and show you how consistent this is in setups that have taken place in the last month, even in the last couple of days, okay? Now, let me share with you what this particular pattern is. All right, for buy setups, what the scanner does is it automatically identifies an overall uptrend in the market, whatever you're looking at, whatever time frame. And then it looks for this pattern. You want to see 3 consecutive red bars followed by a green bar. That's your buy setup. Now, how you decide to enter, if you want to buy at the market on the close, if you want to buy prior to the close of that, if you want to place a limit, or if you want to buy an option, it's entirely up to you. Remember, these are not systems, these are not strategies. These are high probability scans from hidden patterns generated solely by the ATTENDEE. Let's say you want to go short. Let's say you're looking to go sell the market or look for stop placements. Well, the market scanner, the master scanner, will automatically scan for an overall downward trend in whatever market you're looking at, whatever time frame. And then it scans for 3 consecutive green bars that are colored by the ATTENDEE, followed by a red bar that's followed by the ATTENDEE. Okay? That's it. Now, I know it sounds too simple, but remember, if you're looking through the S&P 500, or say you're looking through the Russell 2000, you don't have time to look through all the markets and all the stocks. What if you're looking through different time frames for all of these setups? But the master scanner can identify them in a matter of seconds. So let's look at some of these examples here, okay? Now, remember we talked about Apple. Well, how could we have gotten into Apple well in advance of that announcement where it was a first trillion-dollar company? Well, let's look right here. First of all, we apply the scanner, and the scanner identifies this chart as an overall uptrend. Even though the price may be going lower, it says we are in an overall uptrend. And now once we add the ATTENDEE, we want to see a series of 3 red bars followed by 1 green bar. And that's right here. Yeah, okay? As you can see, we have 1 green bar, and the previous bars were 3 red bars. So that is a hidden pattern that the master scanner identified that is saying this is a high probability setup to go long. Now, this was at the end of June, beginning of July. Wouldn't you have liked to have known that well before the market announced, the stock company announced that it was a $1 trillion company? Plus, you could have gained 22 points to the upside. Now, remember, how you exit, how you enter, where you place your stop placement is entirely up to you. This is not a strategy class. This is simply a high probability entry and exit point that we scan for you automatically on a daily basis. Okay? Now, were we listening and looking at the inner workings of the company, what the CEO was going to announce? Were we looking at the projections and the earnings? Absolutely not. Remember, what my mentors taught me is the same thing I'm passing on to you, is that the market will tell you in advance what it wants to do. That's the source. You just have to listen to it. The trouble is we've never been taught how to listen to it. The ATTENDEE scanner helps you listen to the market and identifies what it wants to do. Let's look at another example here. As we see, even if we had missed that, the market was giving us another example of 3 red bars followed by 1 green bar. You still could have captured some gains after that. If we look at letter K, all right, the scanner has concluded that the overall trend is up. Now we look for that one pattern. Remember, there's a total of 10 patterns. We're only looking for that one pattern. What do we have here? 3 red bars followed by a green bar. So that is a high probability setup that most likely price is going to go to the upside. 9 points coming into the middle of July. Now this can also work to the downside. IVZ. Just looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars here, the ATTENDEE scanner automatically tells that this is in an overall downtrend. And so we look for the opposite. We look for a series of green bars followed by a red bar. And we have it right here. 3 green bars followed by 1 red bar. This is a high probability setup to go short. 6 points to the downside coming into the middle of July. Okay? And if you missed that, there were more setups along the way. 3 green bars followed by a red bar. 3 green bars followed by a red bar. Here's another example. This is in BMRN. Okay? The scanner has deduced that we are in an overall uptrend. We have 3 red bars, consecutive red bars, followed by 1 green bar. Stock goes up 10 points coming into the middle to the end of July. Okay? How you decide to enter is entirely up to you. And once we enter, we're really not that concerned with this particular pattern anymore, or what the colors of the ATTENDEE are. We just place our limits of where we want to exit, where we want to enter, where we want to place our stops, and just follow along the market. Let's look at Facebook, okay? This was in the beginning of July. The overall trend is up as analyzed by the scanner. So it looks for 3 red bars followed by 1 green bar. Right here, very beginning of July, 20 points after that to the upside. How about Pepsi? Okay, looks like this market's going up, right? Well, the ATTENDEE scanner analyzed that the overall trend is down. So we're looking for consecutive green bars followed by 1 red bar. And we have them right here. 3 green bars followed by 1 red bar. Even though this bar closed up, the outline and the wick is red. So that's what qualifies. That's all we care about. We don't care where it closes. We don't care how high or how low, or if it's on support and resistance. There is no consistency in that. Remember, we're not listening to those things. They don't work for us. We're only listening to the market. The market in front of us is telling us through our translator, the ATTENDEE, that it wants to go lower. This was in Pepsi, and this was in April, and the stock quickly goes down 13 points. Okay? Let's look at PG. Now, all these bars, just about the majority of these bars, closed up. This one closed up, this one closed up, up. This was a doji, closed unchanged. But look at this. We have 3 consecutive red bars followed by a green bar. The overall trend is up. And so that's telling us that we're going higher. There's a very high probability chance that we'll go higher. And it went up 5 points coming into this week in August. VRSN, the same thing. The scanner deduced that we are in an overall uptrend. We look for consecutive red bars followed by 1 green bar, and we have them right here. 3 red bars. Even though one of the bars was up on the day, that's okay. Its outline was red, so that's all that matters. That means it's an up day in a short-term downtrend. But the overall trend is up. So 3 red bars followed by 1 green. The stock went up 20 points coming into the beginning of August. That was in VRSN. And if we look at WYNN, this just happened a week or 2 ago. Even though the stock has a majority of green bars, the scanner analyzed that the overall trend was down. So therefore, we're looking for a series of green bars followed by a red bar, and it meets the scan right here. It identified 3 green bars, 1 red bar, and WYN fell 17 points coming into this past week. Obviously, some news came out. The stock gapped down lower. We had no idea. The only thing we listen to is the market in front of us. Because as my mentors taught me some 4 decades ago, the market is always telling you what it wants to do in advance. For example, if we look at Netflix right here, this was all the way back in May, okay, 3 or 4 months ago. The scanner analyzed that we are in an overall uptrend, even though the majority of the bars are red, and we have a series of red bars followed by one green bar. So that is the market, not the earnings, not the institutions, not the volume, not some guy in TV, not someone in a chat room. That is the market telling you there is a big chance, a high probability chance that it wants to go higher. So you can decide to get in whenever you want. You can decide to enter with a limit. You can buy at the market. You can purchase calls. It's up to you. You can wait and watch. But for whatever reason, you should be looking at this as a stock that wants to go higher. If you're thinking about shorting Netflix, forget about it. The odds are against you. And it would have been a great idea to buy because the stock went up 110 points coming into July. Okay? Now, we told you that this can work in other markets and in other time frames. So let's apply this same scan to some other current markets. For example, let's look at an hour chart in the E-mini futures. Now, this happened just on August 6th, just this past week. Okay? Someone looking at this will say, well, Steve, it looks like the market's going down. Each of these bars is an hour, right? So I think we're going down. It seems like we've fallen out of bed. The scanner analyzed this and saw that the overall trend, which looks at a lot longer time frame, said that we are in an overall uptrend. So therefore, we're looking for a series of red bars followed by one green bar, and it meets the curriculum perfect right here. The prerequisite, 3 red bars followed by 1 green bar. So rather than thinking E-mini is going down for whatever reason, you should forget about it because what is the market telling you? It's telling you it wants to go higher. That's the only thing you should be listening to on this hourly chart, and the E-mini futures went up 25 points, or over $1,200 per contract, had you decided to use this. Now remember, you can exit wherever you want. We're not saying you would have made 25 points. You may have made more. Or you may have said, I'm going to take 1 point and get out. Either way, we're just showing you a high probability setup to go long. How you decide to enter, how you decide to exit, and how you decide to protect yourself with stops is entirely up to you. Here's a smaller time frame. This is a 5-minute time frame this past week as well, on August the 5th coming into August the 6th. Now, it looks like nothing's really happening here. We're basically going sideways, but the scanner has analyzed that the overall trend is down. And we have 3 green bars, followed by a red bar. Now, nothing much happens in the next 15 or 20 minutes, but guess what? We have another setup here. 3 green bars followed by another red bar. So there are 2 setups here that the market is telling you wants to go lower based off of this hidden pet D pattern. Not based off any news that's going to come out, not based off supply and demand. Makes no difference. The market is telling you it wants to go lower. Until it changes, it wants to go lower. And in the next hour or two, it fell roughly 8 points, and that was basically $400 per contract. So that's intraday trading with the E-mini futures. What if we trade currency pairs? Well, here's the 4-hour chart of the Canadian dollar. All right. Now, this was in July, the end of July. It looks like the Canadian dollar is going up. It looks like it's pulled back and it's ready to go up higher, right? Well, if you scan with our master scanner, it analyzed that the overall trend is down, that you should not be buying this. And you want to look, if you're looking for this particular hidden pattern, remember there's a total of 10, but using this one, well, you want to look for 3 green bars followed by 1 red bar. And you have them right here. So what is the market telling us? Not what some economic report is telling us about the Canadian dollar or what's going on in the world. What is the market telling us? It's telling us it wants to go lower. So you can decide if you're long to exit or maybe move your stop up. You can decide to sell the Canadian dollar. It's up to you. But either way, you should be looking at this as going down lower until the market changes its mind, because it fell 200 pips in the next week or two. That's $2,000 per unit. Now, if you want to look at a daily chart of the euro dollar, this was in January of this year. Well, the overall trend is up as analyzed by the scanner. We have a perfect pattern here of 3 red bars followed by 1 green. So that is the market screaming that it wants to go higher, just using this one pattern. And 500 pips coming into February, or $5,000 per unit. So let's recap before we go to question and answer. And let me tell you about a great offer we have for you today. Remember, the Pet D Master Scanner identifies high probability setups that are based off numerous Pet D patterns. Now, these patterns occur in any market, in any direction, and in any time frame. And remember, you can only find these by applying our new PTS Primo chart, because that's where the master scanner is. This is the educational portal that teaches you how to listen to the market. Remember, as my mentors taught me, the market is always telling you what it wants to do in advance. Your only job is to listen to it, find out what it wants to do, and then jump on board so that you can be in sync with the market. Picture the market as a river. You want to see which direction the river is going, and then you just simply jump on board once you find out if it's going south or north, east or west, by using whatever means you want, a raft, a boat, an inner tube. It's entirely up to you. But you don't want to swim upstream, right? It's going to take a lot of energy, going to waste a lot of your time, and you won't get to where you want to go. It's no different with trading the market. As a trader, your job is not to figure out the earnings. Your job is not to figure out what the institutions want to do. Your job is not to go to a chat room and find out what they tell you what to trade. Your job is to learn to listen to the market, find out what it wants to do, and then just jump on board. It's really simple. And we help you with that in all of our courses and all of our tools and all of our strategies with the new PTS Primo charting platform. So, before you ask me questions, I want to ask you one. Ask yourself, we're into the 8th month of the year now. Do you think these scans could have helped your trading this past year? Well, we have a great offer for you today for all the attendees taking time out of their Wednesday. We're going to offer you our new ATTENDEE Master Scanner. You're going to get instant scanner access. Remember, you get the 10 new proprietary ATTENDEE Master Scans. You can only get this on our platform. You can use these to add to current positions or use them as stop placements. It's entirely up to you. But the Master Scanner unlocks hidden ATTENDEE patterns. And you don't have to go looking through 500, even thousands of stocks per night. It can do this in a matter of seconds, okay? Now, each one of our scans has an educational video accompanied with it, so you can understand more what we're looking for and what the pattern actually is, okay? Remember, you can apply it to any market, any time frame, and in any direction. This also comes with mentoring correspondence. You can contact me via email to ask me any questions whenever you'd like. So this is our ATTENDEE Master Scanner special. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, well, you know what, that pattern looks really good, but I really don't need this to figure it out, because guess what? Look at this chart here in Amazon. I know it's an expensive stock, but I could have bought an odd lot, or maybe I could have purchased a call, an option, because I don't need the ATTENDEE or the scanner to tell me, because I can almost assume here these are going to be 3 red bars followed by a green bar. I know what that pattern looks like. I've seen Steve talk about it before, so I really don't need this ATTENDEE nor the scanner, all right? Because here's 3 red, most likely, followed by 1 green. All right? So let's say you decide to buy some options. Maybe you have a big enough account where you can buy some shares of the stock, and then guess what? It fell 240 points. And you think, wait a minute, this ATTENDEE scanner stuff doesn't work. Well, remember, you didn't use the ATTENDEE scanner, because if you did, you would have seen that these bars were green. Remember, you need 3 red bars followed by a green bar. This was not a valid pattern. So therefore, the scanner never would have picked this up as a buy scenario, and you never would have lost 240 points in the next week or two. That's why you need this scanner, because it properly identifies these. Now, are these guaranteed to always be winners? No. But they have a high level of consistency. And you can experiment with them. You can see how you want to enter. Remember, it's up to you how you decide to trade them. We're just sharing with you these high probability entry points. Now, here's how simple it is. Once you get our scanner, this is all you have to do. On our platform, you'll simply click on the Master Scanner icon, and you'll see this page, the Master Scanner page. All right? Here's the list of all the different scans. All you have to do is simply hit Load Symbols. The symbols of whatever you're interested in watching will appear. You can click on whatever scans you want, click on Scan, and in a matter of seconds, you'll either see green or red bars telling you the buy or sell setups. That's how simple it is. Now, we're not going to just stop there. We're going to throw in the PTS Primo charting platform if you don't have it. We're going to give you 6 months of the platform. Now, the usual cost for 6 months is $955. Well, don't worry. We're not going to charge you that. In fact, we're not going to charge you anything. We're going to give you 6 months free of the platform to be able to scan with the Master Scanner, okay? This is a great, great offer. This is our ATTENDEE Master Scanner plus platform special, okay? You're getting our new program here, the Master Scanner, along with 6 months usage of the platform. Now, let me show you how great this offer is. Usually the scanner would cost $14.95. That's the standard price. We're not going to charge you that. We're going to take off roughly about 15% and charge you only $12.95. You're going to save $200. You're also going to have a chance to get a payment plan with this if you contact ProTrader Strategies. Plus, you're getting 6 months of the platform for free, all for $12.95. And if you don't have that sum to come up with, you can put together a payment plan as well. So this is a great offer to get your trading back on track and to unlock these hidden patterns. This is really great. Here's how to take advantage of this, okay? Once again, contact my sister site, which is ProTrader Strategies. I developed the scanner and the platform with them, and they're in charge of all of our pricing, all of our discounts, all of our payment plans. And the best thing I would recommend is simply to call them at area code 310-598-6677. We realize not everyone can come up with one lump sum, so you can put together some type of payment structure with them, and you can still be up and running today with the scanner and the platform. Now, that link you see at the very bottom is the link that will take you to the sign-up page for this great offer. It's not a live link. You have to copy and paste that, but they've posted a live link in the chat box on the far right. So if you want to go to the chat box in the far right-hand corner, you can use that link as well, okay? So I'm going to leave this information up here. If you have a question, now's the time to ask, and I want to thank you for holding off on the questions. I told you I had a lot of slides to share with you, and if we stopped at every slide, we'd be here for an extra couple of hours to answer questions. So if you have any questions, just go to your question and answer box now and answer them right now. Remember, the link at the very bottom of the screen is not live. All you have to do is go to the chat box on the far right-hand corner, and you'll see that live link there, and that will take you for more information. But I would suggest contacting ProTrader Strategies. There's absolutely no obligation. You can call them on the phone. They have trading consultants manning the phones right now. They can answer any question you can have. They can put together a payment plan. They'll get you the 6 months of the platform set up for free. Our tech support will have it set up, and you'll be up and running in a matter of moments, okay? Okay, some of the questions. Some people are asking, can I use the scanner with my platform? No, the scanner only comes with the PTS Primo charting platform. It's only available on our platform. So, you know, if you even purchase the scanner, you're going to get the platform as well. Okay, so because it's only available on our platform, everything is just one click away. And the scans that I share with you, I showed you. I mean, it literally takes seconds to get on a nightly basis. And so you can just scan for one or two of your favorite hidden patterns, or you can scan for all of them and see a wide list of different setups. Now, some of our, let's see, next question. What can you use two patterns as a confirmation? That's a good question. Yes, some of our students like to use this. They'll use one pattern that is generating a buy setup, and then they'll see in the spreadsheet there's another pattern that is also generating a buy setup. Yes, that's added confirmation, okay? That's added consistency. So if you see two buys, sometimes even 3 or 4 of the same stock, but using different patterns, as well as sell setups, as well as sell or buy, sure, that's added consistency and added confirmation, okay? Great question. Lastly, remember, this is a great offer. The price is usually $14.95. Without the platform, then you'd have to pay for that separately. So this is a great offer. If you want to, once again, get your trading back on track, I use this on a nightly basis. You can use it with any, some people are asking, can you use this with Bitcoin? Yes, it can be applied to Bitcoin. It makes no difference. There is absolutely no market, because the PET-D will identify these patterns in any market, because these patterns are always being generated in any market. Remember, the market is always talking to us. We just don't know how to listen. So the PET-D translates what it wants to do by searching for these patterns. That's why it's so valuable. That's why it's such a powerful product, okay? So as we close up here, I just want to say, if you have any more questions just concerning pricing or discounts, please do not hesitate to contact ProTrader Strategies. I developed the platform and the scanner with them. All of our strategies and methods are on the platform, so there's also some other great benefits of having the platform as well, okay? Call them directly at area code 310-598-6677, or if you're set and ready to put this deal together, you can do that over the phone as well, or just simply click on the link below, okay? As we close here, I just want to say thank you so much for attending. I hope you saw the power of the PET-D and the power of our master scanner. It's a brand new feature we have on our platform. I use it every day, and it really, really unlocks those great hidden patterns by listening to the market. As we take one last look at our disclaimer, thank you so much for attending. Remember, all these examples were strictly for educational purposes only. I look forward to all of you becoming students of mine and members of our Master Scanner course. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.